On this episode of Infowars needs this. The bankers declare Europe and the U.S. conquered. A SWAT team cop puts a man in intensive care, and babies are born genetically modified. That and a lot more straight ahead, live from FEMA Region number 3. This is the Infowars News Blitz. An article written by Alex Jones and Paul W. Watson is called Bankers Declare U.S. and Europe Conquered. And this is very serious, folks. You might want to watch this video here. A recent clip in which financial analysts admit to viewers that America is under the control of a group of international bankers who are building world government is a damning insight into how the establishment has dispensed with any pretext of trying to hide their agenda as it is finalized. And basically, folks, this is the video here, which I would like for you to listen and watch, and listen very carefully, because basically I'm going to play it now, right? Be back in a flash.
And say 5% down from here.
Well, of course we are, because if we look at the economic data, there's nothing to get excited about in that. So yesterday we saw some reluctance for the Bernanke Fed to expand their balance sheets and pump more money in. But the stock market knows that reluctance is totally different than not willing to do it at all. And that's why we saw oil implode and gold trade off heavily, because they're not a protected class. If the stock market starts trading off in the 10 to 15 to 20% area, the chairman's going to come in and throw some stimulus at it. So to answer your question, we are absolutely slaves to central banks, because we'd love to be slaves of the economy, but the economic numbers continue to do nothing but trend lower.
Mr. LeCamp.
Okay, there you go, folks. You just heard it there. We are now collateral to the central bankers. Isn't that great? I mean, really. A bunch of jacked up idiots who've never been in a real fist fight now run our country. Isn't that great for all those who don't like it? You are a terrorist! But really, folks, this is very serious. We are in a lot of trouble. Believe me, we are in some serious you-know-what. And if something isn't done about this very soon, well, you know, we're all gonna be dead. Okay, our next article here. It is written by Adrian, or whatever his name is, Salazar. Excuse me if I get your name wrong, man, or sir, or ma'am. Last month, we reported a man being placed in intensive care, taking a sucker punch for talking too loudly on his cell phone. The attack came from an unresilient, a SWAT team sergeant. Minneapolis Sergeant Dave Clifford, off duty at the time, became so engaged after telling the person behind him to stop speaking loudly on his cell phone and being ignored that he launched a surprise Superman punch, leaving the victim requiring to date 3 brain surgeries. I should say requiring to date 3 brain surgeries. Now the surveillance footage has further damning video evidence of the SWAT team leader going completely insane. And if you have to go, you'll see the man. I mean, literally, he looks really beaten up. But anyway, here's the video.
We pick up the video with Brian Vanderlee sitting on the left side of your screen with another man, who we are told is his brother. In this part of the video, Sergeant David Clifford has yet to arrive, but we are told that Sergeant Clifford's wife is sitting at the table next to Vanderlee. Here, you can see Vanderlee stand up with his brother, and something is taking place. Whether this is playing around or an actual altercation, we don't know. Fast forward 13 minutes, this is when Sergeant Clifford arrives. Soon after, you can see the sergeant gesture towards Vanderlee. We assume, from witnesses, this is when he asks Brian to quiet down. 5 minutes later, Sergeant Clifford walks over to Vanderlee, and you can watch for yourself what happens. After the punch, Sergeant Clifford takes off. When this all took place, we spoke with Vanderlee's wife, who described what she said happened.
He basically jumped directly on Brian as he was punching him, just like a Superman, like ran right up to him, socked him in the eye. I saw it. He was still in his chair. He hadn't even gotten up. He didn't even know this guy was coming towards him.
Back to the video and the punch. Brian was just getting out of his chair. Did Vanderlee make a threatening move, as Sergeant Clifford claims? That's for you to decide.
Probably not. I mean, he's a power-tripping guy that knocked this guy flat. Ow. And I looked at the video and the picture, too. He looks pretty messed up from my point of view. I mean, seriously, the guy just knocked his face out like a chump and a coward. You've heard of GMOs, right, folks? Well, guess what? Prepare yourself for GMH. Yes, I said it. Genetically modified humans. There's an article here written by Dr. Mercola, and it's titled GMO Modified Babies Are Already Born. How will this alter the human species? The article here was actually written by Dr. Mercola from Mercola.com, and basically it talks about seriously, how GMO babies, now they're moving on to GMO babies, which is very, very scary in my opinion, but you'll get the idea here. It says here, in the article, disclosed that 30 healthy babies were born after a series of experiments in the United States provoked another furious debate about ethics. 15% of children were born as a result of this experimental program at the Institute of Reproduction, Medicine and Science at St. Barnabas in New Jersey. The babies were born to humans who had problems conceiving. For extra genes from a female donor who inserted their eggs before they were fertilized in an attempt to enable them to conceive. Genetic footprint tests are 2 one-year-old children confirmed that they have inherited DNA from 3 adults, 2 women and 1 man. That is just downright crazy. What the hell, yo? I mean, literally, what's next, folks? What is next? This is beyond me now. They've already got GMOs. Now they're gonna make genetically modified, babies? GMBs? I mean, this is getting out of control. We need to say no to this now. I mean, really, we need to. Well, that's all the news I have for you today. If you want to read more articles, go to the description below or go to Infowars.com and you'll find more articles about what I just read. And basically, that's about it, folks. This is the Infowars Nucleus. I'm Infogundam, and you have officially been filled in. See